إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله آمين رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sister at the back, inshallah. Today we're going to go over Surah Al-Asr, and as you can see, the summary of this is called the Constitution of Islam, and I got this from Sayyid ibn Qutb, and you see why it's considered as the basis, inshallah, for Islam. Quoting Imam Shafi, time is like a sword, cut it before it cuts you. This is a very famous saying, and inshallah this will be highlighted as we proceed through the surah itself, inshallah. Okay? Now, just before we start, can anybody please recite Surah Al-Asr? Khogor, inshallah? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. No.
والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Sister at the back, can you read the writing, inshallah? Yep. Sorry, you don't want to read? Okay, Nain?
By time, indeed mankind is in loss.
Yep.
Except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds,
Yeah.
and advised each other to truth, and advised each other to patience.
Alright, Jazakallah khair for that, inshallah. Okay, so to start off with just a trick question, how many qasams are there in this surah? Think very, very carefully. How many qasams or oaths are in this surah? Be very careful. How many qasams or oaths are in this surah? No, don't search the internet. Okay, I thought you were searching the internet. Yeah. Okay, so hands up. Okay, what did you think? One.
One as well.
One. Amir?
Yeah.
One. One sister at the back? One or two or more? Sorry? One. Okay, mashallah, everyone gets a candle. Yeah, it is one. It is one. It is one, mashallah. This one is to check just if everyone was awake. Well done. Well done. Okay. Well done, Mashi. It was a trick question. I just wanted to see if people were awake. Sorry, sister. Oh, sorry. Excellent. Khalas, yes. So inshallah, it is one qasam, and that's the first one. Wal Asr. I just want to see if people confuse the wa with wal Asr. Oh yeah. I just want to see if people confuse the wa with wal Asr and وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Yes. So there's one qasam in this surah. Now, before we actually dive into the meaning of each verse and what its implications are, I just want to give you guys a brief understanding of its background, where it comes from, and what sort of effect it had on the people, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is Musaylima al-Kadhdhab. Who knows this person? Yeah, Hunayn?
He was the one who claimed to be a prophet during the lifetime of Prophet.
Yes, excellent, okay. So Musaylima was pretty much a kadhab, he was a liar, okay, a very well-known liar, and he was actually labeled as Musaylima al-Kadhab, the liar, okay. And there was an incident by Amr bin al-As, okay, rahimahullah, and and to him the verse, the surah Wal Asr was revealed, okay, from the Prophet ﷺ. Then Amr bin al-As, okay, he stumbled upon Musaylima al-Kadhab, and then he revealed the revelation to him, okay. The Prophet ﷺ told me this revelation, Wal Asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu s-salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Okay? Now, Musaylima, okay, thinking that he was a prophet, okay, he came up with his own revelation on the spot, okay? And I'll go over what it is. He said, O Wabr, you are only 2 ears and a chest, and the rest of you is digging and burrowing. Wabr, in those times, was like a little animal, like a cat that had huge ears. You know those Iranian cats you sometimes see? Something similar to that sort of sense. So he was trying to compete with Allah's revelation with his own so-called revelations, yeah? And you could see how defeated that claim was. So essentially he was trying to challenge the Quran, but immediately, as soon as Amr bin al-As heard him say this, he said, I know you are a liar. He immediately recognized that, yeah? Second point, does anybody know the famous saying by Imam Shafi about this specific surah? By Imam Shafi, rahimahullah. Yes, Shah?
If the Quran could be just shortened to one surah, this would be sufficient.
Sufficient for?
I don't remember.
Guidance. Sufficient for guidance. Excellent. So Imam Shafi said, right, that if you take any one surah, it would be this, because this has all the concepts you need for mankind to achieve its guidance. Okay? Does that make sense, yeah? And finally, the companions had a specific bro code with this, yeah? So you know you have these cool ghetto handshakes with this and that, up and down, left and right, okay? The companions would not leave until they recited this surah to each other and then said peace and then left. That's how important this surah was, okay? So just to give you a mindset, it's short, but it has a lot of power behind it, a lot of understanding behind it, and inshallah we're going to cover across the many depths that it has, inshallah. Anybody have any questions? Brothers, sisters at the back? No? Khalas. Okay, so the concepts we're going to cover in this surah are 3. The first one is understanding what is time, okay? What is the value of time? The second concept is loss. It talks about loss. What is this entity of loss which we're talking about? How can we, stay away from this, right? And finally, the qualities of the successful. The surah mentions specifically 4 qualities that we're going to go over, inshallah, to be successful, to reach the status of Jannah, inshallah. Yes? Khalas. So, what is time? Okay, so if I asked anyone here, what is time? What would you respond? What is time? No, really, no response. No response about what is time. Sisters at the back? Okay, sisters are silent. Brothers?
Well, it depends if you're saying that time is relative or not. I don't know.
Okay, relative, absolute.
If you want
Okay.
to go into relativity, I can talk to you about that. But I don't
Okay.
know if anybody
Okay.
else would
Yes, sister at the back?
It's the most valued entity.
Yes, it's the most valued entity. Excellent. Anything else? Come on, brothers, wake up. There are 2 of them with 5 of you. Astaghfirullah.
Passing.
Huh?
It's passing.
It's passing. Yalla, brothers, wake up. 2 of the sisters have spoken. Khalas. Oh man, all of them are asleep. Astaghfirullah.
Once you get it, you can't get it back.
Huh?
Once you lose it, you can't.
Excellent. Once you get it, you can get it back. That's it. It's done. It's all the fluid motion, okay? So, just to start off with, inshallah, in physics, okay, it's been labeled as an irreversible element. And what do I mean by that, okay? When you shoot an arrow with a bow, that arrow pierces through the wind and keeps going. Have you ever seen an arrow coming back into the bow? No, right? That's what time is like. It's like going through and it cannot go back. It's only one-sided. It's not reversible. Okay? Second of all, time is a witness of history. Yeah? Time is a witness of history. Wa alaikum salam, brother, come in. Time is such that it has seen absolutely everything, down to what the pharaohs have done, up to now to what the civilians of New York are doing at this very moment, okay? So it's a witness of the entire history that we call pretty much our ancient technology zone. And another important point about this history is that if you imagine, like when we think about the past, we think about the prophets of Noah alayhi salam, all these people, yeah? They had one gift of time, okay? It may have been a minute, a second, an hour. We are sharing that same gift, okay? So time is an entity that's been gifted to all of us. We are on the same ship when it comes to this specific quantity. Does that make sense to everyone, yeah? Sister at the back? Khalas, okay. So the definition of wal asr, the definition of was, okay? It's used for something that has passed and for something that is present, okay? It doesn't imply, it doesn't mean that it doesn't consider the future. Because if you think about it, once the future has become present, okay, it passes you by and then it's become present. So within wal asr, within the definition of was, you've actually captured the totality of time, the absoluteness of time. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. Right. So, I wanted to now ask you the question, what is the value of time? What is the value of time?
You can't put a value on it.
Huh?
You can't put a value on time.
Deep, very deep, okay. So what do we consider valuable nowadays? I'm talking about the materialistic society. Money, okay, money. What else?
Status.
Status, excellent. What else? Sister at the back? What else do we consider valuable, materialistically? Huh? Power, yes. Okay, excellent, okay. The sister, but mashallah, brother answered, okay.
Materialistic, but relationships.
Relationships, exactly, okay. Again, it's something temporary, right? Okay, all these things are temporary. And time, inshallah, as we go along, we'll see that it's an investment, yeah? So if you think about just 1 second, right? In 1 second, what is the fastest thing known to man? Light, excellent. I'm glad nobody said neutrinos. Okay, I'm glad nobody said neutrinos. Yeah, it is light, okay? Within 1 second, it traveled 186,000 miles. 186,000 miles. That is a huge amount in 1 second, yeah? Just to start you thinking. It's the possession of the greatest capital, okay? And as one of the sisters said, it's declining every day. It is declining again and again every day. There's a scholarly quote to understand the concept of time, yeah? This is mentioned by the Mufassir. What is time and how can you achieve it? How can you achieve success from it, yeah? One scholar said is that if he saw someone who was, trying to keep his ice cold, right? But as soon as he stopped looking after it, the ice started to melt. This is time, right? Okay? If you don't invest in it and look after it and make the right decisions with it, then you will start eventually losing it, just like the ice melting. Does that make sense to everyone? Brothers, sisters in the back? Okay, fine. And just for a word pun, it's not a frozen asset, okay? It's something that's fluid. It's something that's passing you by against your will. It's something that's going against you all the time. So you have to make sure that every second that you use is for the good. You use it for the good. Now the nature of time is that it's continuous in loss, right? It's something that we're not gaining. Everything else we can gain. We can gain material. We lose it, we can gain it back. Fame, we can lose it, we can gain it back. Power, we can lose it, but we can gain it back. But time, we can never ever gain it back. Okay? This is one specific property. And there's actually a poetic line mentioned in Ma'arif al-Quran. And it talks about your life compromises a few breaths that can be counted. When one of them is spent, a part of your life has diminished. Such a scary thought. So if you imagine, okay, because everyone here has a finite number of breaths. Everyone here. And if you knew that number and you've counted how many breaths you've had, wouldn't you be scared of how much you have left? Yeah? So it sort of puts you into perspective by time. The most important resource to man. The most important resource to man, yeah? And just to summarize, by a beautiful example mentioned by Imam Ghazali. Has anybody here read the book called Alchemy of Happiness by Imam Ghazali? Yes, excellent, okay? So, in this specific book, he mentions a very good quote. Imagine you sectioned your day into 24 slots, each slot representing an hour, okay? And in Qiyamah, okay, let's just say for a day, you see your results for a day. If you've done bad, right, okay, you'll see a box full of all those bad deeds. You'll be repelled, disgusted, have all sorts of evil, foul stuff coming out of it. For those of the hours where you did something neutral, you didn't do anything good, nor did you do anything bad. You just remained neutral. Those are wasted opportunities. And when you see that box, you will feel so sad that I wish I could have gone back, and I wish I could have done something better in that place. And then when you see the box of good, that is where all the treasures are. And you become happy. Alhamdulillah, I did this for the sake of Allah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah? Now this is my own extension of this analogy, okay? I want you to consider, okay, now we're focusing on this specific chest of gold, okay, your good deeds, okay? So imagine you have 3 boxes, you have 3 options. You have 33% chance of doing good. Does that make sense to everyone? You can either do nothing, you can either do evil, or you can either do good. Yes? So 33% chance of doing good. That's your choice. Within this, do all treasures have gold? Not all treasures have gold, right? Sometimes you'll find necklaces, sometimes you'll find bronze, sometimes you'll find silver, and then only, most of them will be gold, but you will have a variation. It will not always be 100% gold. So if you think about it, let's say you did an act for the sake of Allah. Your sincerity fluctuates. Sah? Yes? So this will also fluctuate within this treasure box. Not all of these treasures will be gold. So how much further does that reduce your chance in the akhirah? Down from 33% to maybe what, 10%, 5%? For one slot. For one slot. See how much there's against you. You see how much there's against you? So we need to be very careful how we use the concept of time. Does that make sense? So sister at the back, yeah? Khalas, okay. Right, now the next specific topic we're going to talk about is man. And why is man in loss, yeah? So, it mentions, okay, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. What can you notice about this specific sentence? Does anybody have any reflections or ideas? What's so specific about this sentence? What has it used to call people? Insan, okay? What are the other variations which in the Quran it uses to call people? An-nas, okay, I'm talking about other variations. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, what else? Ya ahlul kitab, all these things, yeah, okay? Ya banu Israel, okay, and ya muhsinin, whatever, all these different things. Does that make sense, yeah? But here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has specifically chosen al-insan. Al-insan, okay? And what does this imply? This implies that no one, absolutely no one, is exempt from this rule that time is in loss. Everyone is in the same boat. Does that make sense? Okay, you can be a munafiq, you can be a mushrik, a Muslim. You are all in the same boat. This applies to everyone. Yeah. And there's and it's also an understanding that this is because this is a generalized statement. Okay, it can encompass anyone, either a single person or an entire nation. Let me give you an example. Okay, the statement, "Poison is fatal for man." What does one take away from this? Anyone? What does one take away from this? Poison is fatal to man. It's dangerous for everyone. If one person takes it or if an entire nation takes it, the effect is going to be the same. Sah walala? Yes? Khalas. Likewise here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is for everyone. Okay? It's a generalized statement. Whether for one person, two people, whatever, family, the whole thing is in the same process. Everyone is in a state of loss. Okay? Yeah, so it's a collectively agreed statement, right? Everyone knows that this is the case, yeah? Now we're going to look at specifically, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي. Indeed, man is in loss, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intentionally, we're just going to, go understand the meaning of khusr, before we go into fi. What's the meaning of khusr? إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. What does that mean? Loss, okay? It means a form of loss. It's the opposite of profit. So in the the Quraysh times, it'd be used, for example, when in loss in trade, or I had khus, this is khus, or when somebody lost capital, or when somebody was completely bankrupt. Okay, this is what it is. But in the Quran, it molds it into a slightly different meaning, an expanded meaning. Yeah, in the Quran, it's actually the opposite of falah. What is falah in Arabic? Success. Okay? And not just any success. Falah means true success. Okay? So what does this imply for innal insana lafi khusr? This pretty much applies that in this life, not only in this life are you in loss, but in the next life as well. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. You are in loss in this life and in the next life. And we find out the clause, which is the exception. The exception, 4 qualities that you must have to be outside of this. To be falah, the successful. Does that make sense to everyone? Sisters at the back? Yeah? Okay, now we're just going to finally conclude with the use of fi. La fi khusr. Inna ladina la fi khusr, okay? Right, so if you think about it, okay, the cookie is in the jar. Okay, the cookie is in the jar. Okay, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say man is a loser? No. What did he say? Man is in loss. So what does this imply? Okay, Imam Suhaib Webb on his video, he mentioned that first of all, when you're in something, you're surrounded by it. Yeah, when you're in something, man is surrounded in loss, and man is so deep in loss, and it's something that he cannot come out of. It's so deep in loss. He's been fixated into this position. Does that make sense? So this is an understanding. By time, man is indeed in loss. Fahamt? Understand everyone? Khalas, okay. Now, Imam Razi, this is again quoting from Sheikh Imam Suhaib Webb, okay? He talked about that this statement should actually strike a fear into everyone's hearts. It should strike a fear in everyone's hearts, yeah? And I'll explain why. There's a book called Influence, okay? A Psychology of Persuasion, and this is written by Dr. Robert Cialdini. Okay, you can find it on Amazon or whatever. And in this book, they had a social experiment on a youth camp. Okay, And what they wanted to do, they wanted to try and develop a sort of a psychological strategy to try and unify a group, okay? So they first attempted to create unity by having groups. So, you have a team A, team B, team C, etc. And maybe the competition could increase that, the brotherhood or the sisterhood there, etc. Okay, this is a secular study, not a religious study. But they just thought that this could try and increase unity. But the result was that it actually created a lot of negative results. There was more ferocity against the teams. There was more competition, a lot more anger and intensity. So it didn't work. So they decided to change the parameters a bit. What they intentionally did was they broke the water tank. Okay? And what did this cause? This caused a universal breakdown. Yani this affected everyone in that camp. No water means everyone cannot have access to water. No one can have shower. No one cannot drink good water. Does that make sense? Yeah? So when everyone understood this point, the organizers got up and said, we now need to work together to try and fix this up. And they gave each team their instructions to do. And they worked in cohesion. A result that was surprising to them. Okay? So what they concluded from this was, when there is a social need that affects everyone then starts working together. Everyone starts working together. Wa alaikum salam. If you think about a pandemic, or Armageddon in the movies, everyone knows that a meteor is coming, Everyone knows. But if you see them, whether you're black, white, Nigerian, African, American, Russian, they're all now working for one cause. Does that make sense? Yeah? So here, man, all of us are in loss. So it should strike a fear in our hearts saying, now we should be working together to avoid this. Yes? Does that make sense to everyone? Sister at the back, yeah? Khalas. Okay, right. So that's concluding what man is, what time is, and what man and loss means. Does that make sense to everyone, yeah? We're now look at the final thing, and this actually has a lot of different elements inside it, okay? What makes a character successful? So the third line is إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. The first few words, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ, except those. So man is in loss, okay? By time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sworn by time that man is in loss. Okay? But now we find out the exception, the people who can be saved from this, who can be the falah, the muflihun from this, the successful. Yeah? So we're going to look through these 4 qualities inshallah. Yeah, any question? Okay, yeah. So the first quality we're going to look at is faith. Okay? Now, for a candy inshallah, who can tell me the 6 characteristics of faith? Not the people who were here last time. What's your name, brother? Saqib. What are the 6 articles of faith? Huh? Not too sure. Okay, no problem. Okay, for being honest, you get a candy. Okay, excellent. Okay, inshallah. Sister at the back, what are the 6 articles of faith? Sorry? Okay, believing angels, one of them. Prophets. Huh? The last day. Qadar, yes.
Did you get any books?
Books, yes. Last one. The main one. You forgot the main one. One God, Allah. Okay, both the sisters get candy, mashallah. Sorry, sister. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, sister. Well done, Shah. Should we give one Shah or no? Yes, okay. Well done, Shah. Excellent. Catch, man, catch. Astaghfirullah. Huh? Okay, inshallah, next time you can buy them, okay? Khalas. Okay, khalas. So, these 6 articles of faith, this is what you need to have faith, okay? Belief in Allah, alright? The Prophet, the books, the Qadr, Al-Akhirah, and I forgot the angels, that's it, yeah, okay. So does that make sense? And you can read that in this book, and I got this book especially for this specific cause. This is called Book of Iman, and this is written by Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah. Fantastic book, and he's my personal favorite scholar, classic scholar of Islam. This book covers exactly what you need to go through these 6 articles of faith. Yes? You can read this in your own time, inshallah. Okay. Second thing, good deeds. Okay, good deeds. And who can tell me what good deeds are? And everyone goes silent. Everyone knows the bad deeds, but nobody knows the good deeds. Yes? Okay, what are good deeds? Sabr, okay. Sister at the back, another example?
Respecting your parents.
Respecting your parents, Brother Saqib?
No kindness to people.
Yes, excellent, yes.
Good relationships.
Huh?
Good relationships.
Good relationships, excellent, excellent. Actually, just on the matter of relationship, okay, this is something I found very interesting. It's just my own personal observation. Is that, you know, when Prophet ﷺ, when he got his first revelation, yeah, when he was in the cave and the angel Jibreel, he came up and choked him or whatever he did to him 3 times, and then he was shaken up, yeah, and then he went crying to his wife, like, oh, Khadija, what happened to me? And then she covered him up and she comforted him, etc., etc. And then she said, go to Waraqah, who was her cousin. Yeah, who was her cousin. He went up to her, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then Waraqah told him the good news that you are actually a Nabi, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay? And then when the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went back to Khadija radiallahu anha, okay, listen to what she said. Listen to what she said, okay? She, when he told that I'm a prophet, the first thing that she said was, I'm not surprised, okay? She said she wasn't surprised. And the first clause that she mentioned was, because you are good with the relationship in your family. Then she mentioned a few other things. But the first thing that she mentioned, I found very surprising, was that because you keep good relationships with your family. This is just an extra point, it wasn't in the notes, but alhamdulillah, this is extra information that you can inshallah take out. And this is mentioned in Ibn Kathir, the Seerah of Ibn Kathir, volume 1, page, I don't know. Khalas, okay, you can read that in your own time. But yeah, I thought that. Okay, just to now get back on topic, alright? Who here knows Shaykh Salih ibn Uthaymeen? Okay, quite a lot of you, mashallah, okay. He's a very good scholar, mashallah, Saudi Arabian scholar. He died a few years ago. Inshallah, may Allah have mercy on him. And he wrote a lot of different texts, mashallah, very, very good texts. And he wrote a book called Upright Moral Character, yeah? And in this, it defines 3 things which make up good character, okay? The first of these is good acts of kindness. The first on the list, good acts of kindness. Second on the list, refraining from harming others. And the third thing, guess what? Smiling, okay? He considered this as smiling. So smiling is 33% of good deeds. So smile, okay? Khalas, end of story, finish. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah? Okay. Third thing, exhorting others to the truth, okay? Who is the best example of this? Why did it take you so long to say that? Astaghfirullah. Prophet ﷺ, yes, excellent. He is the best da'i known in Islam, okay? He was the most patient, he was the most kind. If you see how he treated his enemies, even his enemies respected him just because of his good moral conduct. Yeah? And if you think about al-haq, what al-haq is, okay? And this is taken from Tafheem al-Quran, written by Shaykh Ala Maududi. And he said that it's actually an antonym of falsehood. It's the opposite of falsehood, okay? And it implies that it is the correct or the right thing in accordance with justice and the truth. Okay? Where you should strive for justice and truth. And the right which is obligatory on man to render. Anything which may be within him and God, within him and himself, or with him and another man. Yeah? To stand up for justice. A society should not be living on falsehood. Rather, it should be sensitive to such implications so it can be firm against such evil and live upright in the name of Islam. Make sense? Yes? Everyone okay with that? Okay. Final point, exhorting others to patience. Okay? Exhorting others to patience. Now, anybody here, can you define what patience is? It's a very tricky question. What is patience? Controlling yourself, okay. I'll give you candy for that to start off, discussion, mashallah. Okay. Alright. You guys need to catch, man. Pakistani can't catch, astaghfirullah. Okay. Huh? Sabr, yes. Okay, that's the Arabic word. I want a meaning. What meaning can you derive from it? Yes?
Could you say, in extension to what he just said about controlling yourself, you control yourself in order to wait for what you want to happen, or what you want to get, or something like that.
So controlling yourself to wait for what you want to get.
Or what you want to happen.
Okay, alright, okay. Anything else? Sisters at the back? No? Sakabai? No? Holger? Okay, everyone's... Yes?
Could it be to be content with what you have?
To be content with what you have. Okay, right, okay. Right, now I'm going to try and break it down for you and you judge accordingly to what you just said, okay? Who here knows Dr. Reda Bader from Al-Maghrib Institute? right? Everyone here pretty much knows him, yeah? MashaAllah, fantastic scholar. And he once said something very, very profound in one of his lectures. I was at Eternal Journey, a fantastic Al-Maghrib course. And in this, he said that your life can be divided into two different tests, okay? The first test is how grateful you are when you're blessed. And the second test is how patient you are when you're tested. Okay? So that puts things into perspective. Which one do you think is more difficult? Being grateful or being patient? Being patient. Okay? Being patient. And to extend on this, okay? In Surah Anfal, verse number 47, it says, "And be patient and persevering, for Allah is with those who patiently preserve." Okay? Allah is with you if you preserve patiently. If you look at the stories of the four Imams or any of the other people from the Sahaba, you saw how patient they are, and we're a joke compared to them. We're a joke compared to them. It's like Atari versus PlayStation, That's how bad we are. So what we need to try and achieve is a level of patience. And now finally, to reach the definition of patience, there's a book called Patience and Gratitude written by Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah. And he said, okay, this is a quote, "To have patience means that one's common sense and religious motives are stronger than one's whims and desires." I thought that was a fantastic definition. From all the different literature that I've read through, I thought that was the best definition of patience. So does that make sense? So that means that your rational thought, okay, your moral conduct and your Islamic virtues should be stronger than your desires and temptations. Does that make sense, yeah? Khalas, okay. So these are the four things that make people successful, inshallah, and allow them to reach Jannah Firdaus, inshallah, okay? Now what I want to do, I actually now want to talk about the macroscopic picture of these. I was focusing on one by one individually, so this is microscopic. Now let's take a step back and look at these from a bigger picture. So the first thing I want to talk about these four qualities is the relationship between the faith and good deeds, okay? I want to ask everyone here a question. Can a single man be called a couple? Why is that a funny question? That's a question. Can a single woman be called a couple? No. Technically you can? Who said you can? Astaghfirullah, what bid'ah is this?
There's a concept of asexuality, right? So
There's a what?
the concept of asexual people.
Okay, I'm not going to delve into that. You can write an article if you want, inshallah, on this. Okay?
I'm just saying.
Okay, no, alhamdulillah, very good you're saying that. Okay. So my point I'm trying to make is, okay, you've got to have strong faith, and followed by that strong faith are good deeds. And vice versa. A good deed cannot be considered a good deed if it has no faith. Okay? So people have this confusion sometimes, okay? Oh no, you need to have the right intention. We don't do the action. Okay? Oh no, we can do the action, but intention's corrupt. Intention's corrupt. You can't have this sort of thing. It needs to follow each other. They're a couple. Okay? You cannot have a single man couple or a single woman couple, except for what the sister agrees there at the back, okay? Inshallah. Okay, does that make sense? The relationship between faith and good deeds. Yeah? Okay, khalas. The second thing I want to talk about is that if you go back to the Arabic, right, okay, it says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. So we're now going to understand what is this word tawasaw. Okay? Now, it actually comes from the word wasiyah. Okay? It comes from the word wasiyah, and this means to advise strongly and effectively about the best thing to do in a particular situation. Right? And it also means that a will or a testament where a testator advises his executor regarding the disposal of his estate in his death. Yeah? Now, I want you to look at this. These four qualities can be divided into individual and social. Does that make sense? Having faith in good deeds is something an individual has to do. Calling others to truth and calling others to patience is what a society has to do. This is the social obligation. Does that make sense? Yeah? So, what I want to say is, okay, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically use this word of watawasaw? Because it has such significant importance. Such significant importance that we tend to forget. If you look at the world today, everyone is about me. Everyone is about me. Okay? Nobody's talking about helping others. Look at our brothers in Africa. Wallahi, if just the world got together, had one conference, put all their money together, the problems of Africa would be sorted like that. Like that. But no. The oil, the corruption, the greed. Look at all this. What is this? Astaghfirullah. Yeah? You have to learn to live to help others. Call others to the truth and to call others to patience. Does that make sense? The importance of this word. Watawaso. Watawaso, yeah? Now, I want to now focus on another thing in the Arabic. Okay? Look at it. It says here, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ وَعَمَلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمَلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Yes? How many ands can you see in this sentence? 3 ands. Okay. What does that imply? What does and mean?
Wow.
Okay, fantastic. And means wow. No, I don't want that. I want to know, what does it imply?
They all have to be together.
They all have to be together. They all have to be together. Okay? Now this is something I personally really find appalling in the Muslim society. Okay? Everyone focuses on just either their faith or good deeds. They think, khalas, I'm a good Muslim, I've done my job. That's it. But what does it say here? You must have faith. You must have good deeds. You must call others to the truth, and you must call others to patience. We forget the obligation of us to society completely. Yani you tell me, Mashayikh, okay? If you may be the most pious man in the world, you may be the most pious woman in the world, but if your own family cannot appreciate that from you or learn from you, what good are you? What good are you? Yeah? Let me tell you another fact from that sociology book, Influence. In one of the sections, it had a study where it found that 5% of people are initiators and 95% are emulators. Now, what does that mean? Okay, 5% of the people of the population of the world, they are the trendsetters. They're the ones we look up to as a measuring stick. Does that make sense? Yeah. And the 95%, they just copy them. Michael Jackson's doing this, I want to do this. Britney Spears wearing that, I gotta wear that. Stuff like that, okay? So this is what imitators are. That was a very bad impression, but you get my point. You get my point. Khalas? Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Now, look at the Muslim scene, the Islamic scene, okay? Who is at the forefront of da'wah? This is pretty much da'wah. Calling others to patience and calling others to... This is da'wah. Sah wa la? Yes? Khalas. Who is the leading, front? Who is at the leading front of da'wah? You have people like Dr. Zakir Naik, Abdul Rahim Green, okay? Yeshua Evans, okay? You have Hamza Sources. You have Yusuf Estes, okay? Huh? Ahmed Didat, okay? And all these... Huh? Yeah, Bilaf is another one. But you see, majority of these people that we've mentioned, majority of these people, are they sheikhs, alims? No. What are they? Da'is. They're da'is, sah? Okay, they're just calling out to others. Shame on us as Muslims, shame on us that we were born Muslim, but mashallah, within a couple of years since they converted to Islam, they're not leading the Islamic community. Shame on us. Wallahi, shame on us. Yeah? They're setting the trend for us, when it should be the other way around. The Muslims should be firm and should be leading the da'wah scene. But no, we're relying on the reverse to change the da'wah scene for us. Yes?
Can I just add a point, if that's right?
Yeah.
During the Easter holidays, I went to a talk by Hamza Sources, giving da'wah to our parents.
Yeah.
Hopefully I was still learning more stuff about it, but he said this notion about, I don't know enough about Islam to tell people. And then he said to us, if you know one ayah, you should preach it. And I'm sure that all of us know Surah Fatiha.
Yeah.
So if you know Surah Fatiha, you're 7 times more qualified than someone who is the minimum qualified to give da'wah. So that means everybody should give da'wah, no matter who you are. As long as you know even one ayah, that's enough.
Yes, excellent. This is an excellent analogy. And this is what I want to actually talk about right now, okay? In Islam, there are millions of branches. Okay, that's an exaggeration, okay? But there are many branches. There's tafsir, there's seerah, there's tajweed, there's hadith, whatever, okay? You must have some idea which is your favorite. For me, it's tafsir. I love tafsir like more than my wife maybe one day. I don't know, inshallah. Okay? More than anything. I love tafsir because it allows me to connect with the Quran. It allows me to understand the Quran. I love finding these gems. It really touches me, yeah? So, what you should all be doing is find that subject. Find that subject that you really like and then go for it. Yeah? And you don't have to be an alim or mufti or whatever to do this. Yeah? I'll give you some examples. Look at these da'is which I just mentioned. Abdurrahman Green, Hamza Sources, Yusuf Evan, Yusuf Chambers. Right? They don't have any Islamic qualification, but they're the leading people of the forefront of da'wah of Islam. Now let me give you some local examples. Sister Warda, who is the Gensec of ISOC, okay? MashaAllah, within 3 months, okay, she set up her own company called Ain Tanago. And she took something within Islam, a very specific thing, which is understanding the working relationship of men and women, okay? But at the same time protecting themselves. This is what her company is about. And mashallah, within 3 months, she has 4,000 plus followers on Facebook. 4,000 plus. Yani she is giving da'wah to 4,000 plus people. This is more than the ISOC put together. Yeah? Let me give you another example. Brother Abdullah, okay? You know Brother Abdullah, the guy who does tajweed, okay? MashaAllah, every Tuesday after Maghrib, even though he has exams, even though he has coursework, he teaches tajweed. Because that's what he likes. Yeah? Let me give you another example. Brother Harun, who is from Nottingham Islam Information Point, okay? MashaAllah, he's the Emir there. They've been running for 10 years and MashaAllah, they have 50 shahadas, I think 50 or 54 by now. SubhanAllah, and this is what they're good at. They love da'wah and they took it by the horn and went for it. So, if the most important thing that you could do is find something you like, take a branch and steam with it. Okay? Now let's say you can't do that, okay? Then the next step is, the step lower, is then try and find a position or volunteer for something, right? MashaAllah, let me give you a couple examples in this scenario. Brother Sharoz, okay? You all know Sharoz, who's the president, right? And MashaAllah, his exec team. They did so well, okay? They didn't apply for any specialized position in Islam or whatever. They just took up a position in the Islamic society. And MashaAllah, now, if you look at it, they have 4 awards. They got the Golden Award from the University of Nottingham, and they got 3 awards from FOSIS, which is the umbrella body of all the ISOCs in the UK. What a fantastic achievement, yes?
They also got 2 other awards.
They also got 2 other awards, subhanAllah.
DIW and Charter.
Subhanallah. What is that? Right? Let me give you another example. Sister Amina, who's sitting at the back, she went for the president of SU. Okay? She didn't win. Okay? She didn't win. But she went for it. And subhanAllah, with all the burdens that came in her way, and only with 3 days of actually us going out and marketing for her, she got 1,400 votes. And the person who came first in 2 weeks got 2,100. Look at the comparison. She did something for the ummah. She went for it. Right? She didn't go for a specific branch in science. She tried to do something. She tried to fill a position. Another example is Sister Shabina Raja. Masha, she is now the BME officer. Now all the people surrounding her are non-Muslims can look at her as an Islamic example. Right? Can look at her. Now let's say you can't even do that. You're too busy. Family, wife, kids, whatever. Okay? If you cannot do that, then the best thing you can do is give silent da'wah. Now what do I mean by silent da'wah? Is your character. Your ikhlas. Okay? There are always some brothers and sisters who are recognized without even saying a word, without even getting involved, but who are recognized because of their fantastic character. Right? Fantastic character. I mean, the best example that comes to my mind is Brother Shujahat. Fantastic guy, mashallah. Absolutely smashing. Right? But think about the social implications. Let me give an example. Say a sister, she got a beard. Sorry, no, a beard. Sorry, no. So, say a sister who didn't have a hijab, she wore hijab. Okay? Say she wore hijab. Okay, that was a very, very bad slip up. Okay? Okay guys, come on, man up, inshallah. Okay? So let's say a sister who didn't wear hijab and she started wearing hijab. And then other sisters around her who didn't wear hijab got influenced by this. Even though they never spoke to that sister, can you imagine the implication? Other sisters around her start wearing the hijab. And then that branch grows out and out and out. And that sister, without even realizing, will get the ajr of all of these sisters. Does that make sense? So one, try your best, find a top in Islam and steam for it, go for it. If you can't do that, fill up a position, represent the Muslim Ummah with one of these positions. And if you cannot even do that, then at least focus on your character and improve your character. Because even though you may not know, you can still inspire others. Yeah?
Add something to that.
Yeah.
Back at school, there was teenage kids, Muslims, yeah? They make fun of people who have basically, they've got short trousers, so they're basically their trousers above their ankles.
Yeah.
This is how it's supposed to be done in Islam. It's supposed to be done like that. They make fun of this. This making a mockery out of the sunnah is haram. Yeah. But one of the people in the group, he didn't say that. All he did was he just put his trousers above his ankles, and because of his sort of social position in this gang, everybody followed him after that.
Yeah.
And that just shows, like, it's just so amazing what just one person doing one good thing, it can have like amazing effects on everybody else around them. And it was really, really, really nice to just see that.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Alhamdulillah.
It made me happy. It made me so happy.
That's very good to share, because my point is, there are only 5% statistically in a psychology study initiators and 95% imitators. So knowing that, think of the influence you brothers and sisters can have here. Think of the influence, right? Sheikh Ya'ur Beg, he's an Al-Kawthar member and one of the leading founders of Al-Kawthar, I think. He mentioned in one of his statements, right? A dead fish will always follow the stream, but a live fish will go against the stream's current. Which one are you? Are you a dead fish, socially following the blind mechanism of the society? Or are you a leader, a changer, a game maker? You need to decide which one you fall into. Yeah? You all have the capability, no doubt. You must all be good at something. Use that and excel in that, inshallah. Right? Yes.
I think the main thing is being sincere in whatever you do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether the trousers are high, low, it doesn't matter. As long as you believe and you live, it's not just you ad hoc do it when you feel like it. You have to have true ikhlas, and that's what people will see. And you have to live it 24/7.
Yes. Yes, excellent. Sincerity, and live it with sincerity for 24/7. MashaAllah, fantastic way to end it, okay? Now, just to carry on, inshallah. If you look at it here, okay, so does everyone understand my point there, okay? So now we're going to look at another observation which was made by one of the mufassirs. And he said, okay, if you look at the possible interpretation, on an individual level, you have faith and good deeds, yeah? On a social level, calling others to the truth and calling others to patience, right? And he says that this is actually an expanded mirror image. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Faith is the same as calling others to the truth. It's an act. Okay, you have faith, you're not calling others to faith. Yes? And sabr actually originally, it means that one who holds oneself from bad deeds and binds oneself to good. That's what the sabr originally means. Okay? So this also is a mirror image of good deeds. Right? So it's what it's trying to imply is that this is a further emphasis of having good, a faith in heart, and also having good actions. And it's also an extrapolation. Once you've built it in yourself, okay, then try and do that for the society. Yes? That's one interpretation by in Ma'arif al-Quran. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Finally, to summarize everything, inshallah. Now, Ibn Taymiyyah, he, again, my favorite scholar, he actually wrote an amazing sort of summary of this entire surah. He says the shaitan relies on 2 gates of evil to trick people. Does anybody know what those 2 gates are for 2 candies? Sisters, I'll give the sisters a chance. Sisters at the back? Okay, brothers. Khogar.
Your mouth.
Huh?
Your mouth.
Your mouth and...
This is one I can't know.
Ghalat. Okay, anybody else? Huh? No. Okay, desire is one of them. Excellent. Catch. And what's the other one? Desires and think. It's related to these two. Okay? So she said desires, that's based on your deeds. Huh? Kufr, what does, think of the word. Say, it starts with D. Not disbelief. Bid'ah, it starts with D. MashaAllah, fantastic. It starts with D. Think about it. What makes you stray away from faith?
Distractions.
Huh? No. It's a 5-letter word. Yeah, 5-letter word.
Death.
What, mashallah, what a fantastic imagination, mashallah. Death. No. Come on, guys. What? Tawheed. It starts with D, bro. D, not T. Tawheed is also 6 letters, man. Okay, Tawheed. Huh? Mashaykh. Another clue. It ends with T. Oh, that will confuse you even more. Oh my days.
The depth.
That's 4 letters. No.
But that's 6.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
say it.
Huh? Come on, no. Okay, I'll give 2 candies for that last one. Think. Mashaykh, think. What makes you stray off faith?
Deed.
Okay, it's similar to the word uncertain.
Doubt.
Yes, finally, doubt. Mabruk. Oh my days, man, finally. Khalas, okay? The 2 gates which shaitan uses, right, are doubts and desires, okay? And so the doubts means shubuhat in Arabic, and desires means shahawat, yeah? So, when Ibn Taymiyyah said that the shaitan actually uses doubt to corrupt your faith. Okay, you look at the Indian traditions, you look at Hinduism, atheism, it's because of corrupt faith. Yeah? Christianity, whatever. We know for a fact that the Jewish and the Christian texts are based on corrupted texts, corrupted faith, completely. Yeah? And the second one is desires. Yes? It's desires. Good deeds and calling out to patience. This is desires. What is your biggest fitna for men? It's women. Right? What is biggest fitna for women? It's their mouths. This is quoted by Dr. Redda, not me. Okay, this is quoted by Dr. Redda, not me. Okay? So khalas, like this is another example. Another example of fitna or desires is hunger. That's another one. Laziness. You understand? You get my point. And Ibn Taymiyyah said, this surah actually accomplishes pretty much the salvage from both of them. The salvage from both of them. Have good faith so that the shaitan cannot doubt you. And have good deeds so the shaitan cannot tempt you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Just to conclude this off, it says that faith or haqq, having faith or calling others to the truth, both of these imply improving knowledge of Muslims or their intellectual development, right? And then good deeds and calling others to patience, right? This means improving practical life of Muslims. Does that make sense? Does everyone get these macroscopic observations? Any questions from the brothers? Any questions from the sisters? No questions. Okay. Now we can move on, inshallah. Just to conclude off the lesson, inshallah, these are the conclusions. Number 1, the most important and most valuable asset that all of you have here is time. And you have to understand, number 2, time is not waiting for anyone. It's gonna go and go and go. You're gonna get your wrinkles and you're gonna eventually go to your grave. Okay? 3, you are the living test. Okay? When you have an exam, which all of you do, right? You know you have 90 minutes to complete the test. You know you have that. But when you think about it in life, you forget about it. And the reason why? Because the shaitan distracts you. So understand that you are a living test. You are a living test. Your time will come. How many good deeds are you going to accomplish? How many chests are you going to have full of gold? 4, have the correct faith with correct action and vice versa. Like I said, you cannot have a single man who's called a couple, nor can you have a single woman who's called a couple. Make sense? Number 5, 2 obligations. You have an individual obligation to yourself. Work on your faith, work on your good deeds. Yes? You also have an obligation to the social community around you. Call others to truth and call others to patience. Inshallah. Yes? Finally, conquer your doubts and conquer your desires. These are the 2 gates which the shaitan will use. Now use this surah to implement these things in your lives. You saw only 3 sentences. SubhanAllah, how much did we deduce from this? From just 3 sentences. It's amazing. And mashallah, this is just from 6 tafsirs. Imagine how many more we can achieve just if by looking at the 50 tafsirs that exist. SubhanAllah. And finally, the references that I use are Meaning of Quran, written by Shaykh Sa'id al-Mawdudi, Ma'arif al-Quran by Mawlana Mufti Muhammad Shafi, Tafsir ibn Kathir, Alchemy of Happiness by Imam Ghazali, Upright Moral Character by Shaykh Salih ibn Uthaymeen, Patience and Gratitude written by Shaykh Al-Qayyim, who was the student of Ibn Taymiyyah, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion written by Dr. Robert Cialdini, and finally the Tafsir of Surah Al-Asr by Imam Suhaib Webb. That's it. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka atubu ilayk. Jazakallahu khairan. Any questions? You may. Yes, sister at the back. Again, please. Unfortunately, you can inshallah watch the video, or I can quickly explain it over. But does anyone have any questions regarding any of the subtleties or the observations which we concluded from this? No one? Okay, that'll be £50, please. No, jazakallah khair. That's it for today, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum.